When I was 12 years old, I was diagnosed with anorexia and put into an eating disorder treatment facility. And today I'm going to go over what I was eating right before I was put into that treatment facility in the climax of my eating disorder. What's up, everybody? My name is Luke McLeod. I'm the creator of Mongoose Mindset. And like I said, I was diagnosed with anorexia nervosa when I was 12 years old because I wanted to become a Navy SEAL, and I started exercising, dieting, and doing things the wrong way because I was mainly uneducated about how to do it the right way. That led me down the road of developing an eating disorder and eventually being put into that treatment facility. After I got out of that, I still had to do like outpatient treatment and see a therapist, psychiatrist, and dietitian. As I was seeing those health professionals, I started going back to school, where after I finished up with all those health professionals and everything, I started getting back into sports. I got into weightlifting at 16 years old because I wanted to put some mass on my frame because I was still skinny from when I had the eating disorder. And I've been continuing to do that till this day. After graduating high school, I moved out to Louisville, Kentucky to train and ultimately become a professional wrestler. After doing it for about a year and a half, I realized that it's not something I wanted to continue doing for the rest of my life. So I moved back here to Virginia, where I had a job where I wasn't making what I wanted to make financially, and there was no career growth opportunity from that. So I moved again out here to Southwest Virginia, and I'm doing a trade and automation program here at New River Community College. And while I was out here, I actually started up Mongoose Mindset, and that's where I am today. And I started up Mongoose Mindset first to, just lifestyle coaching or online coaching to help, people reach their goals or whatever. And then I kind of realized that maybe I can help people who are going through eating disorders and stuff like that, since that's what I mainly went through. So I'm not only trying to help people with eating disorders, but that's my main purpose, because anybody can develop an eating disorder at any age of life, whether you're young, old, or middle-aged. It's a really good thing to get out into the world and let people know about this, so they either don't develop them on themselves or they can help somebody else who may be starting to develop these types of symptoms. So as of today, I eat about 2,800 calories on non-training days and about 4,200 calories on my training days. That's as of today. And the average man usually eats about 2,000 calories every day, but that's the average man. The average man doesn't train, doesn't have granted, I don't have the most muscle mass in the world, but doesn't have the muscle mass that I have compared to, most fat people who just sit on their ass all day and don't exercise, don't eat right. So I'm not average by any means. Calorie intake's gonna vary from person to person. Some person might have a faster metabolism, or they might move more, their job, they might, sit down all day or something like that. So it really just depends person to person. But when I was in the climax of my eating disorder, before I went into the treatment facility, this is what I was eating. Meal one, I was eating 1 egg with 2 slices of turkey bacon. Now, I'm not going to put calories up on the screen because I don't know exactly which one I was eating from Aldi at the time. I can't remember that because it was almost 10 years ago. But an egg is 70 calories. Let's just say that. So that's 70 calories, and turkey bacon's not as much fat in it. So I would say that's around maybe 150 calories or 200 at the most. I'm not, sure, because again, there's no point in calculating the calories exactly because I'm not going to get the right brand and everything correctly. So we can just make a general guess. At the end of the day, this wasn't a lot of food. And then meal two was 6 slices of roast beef. The roast beef, lunch meat slices. And the only reason why I did that was because that had 0 grams of fat in it. It had 0 grams of carbs. It was the only lunch meat I could find that had 0 grams of carbs. It probably has some trace carbs in it because everything is usually not 0 grams of something. And then I would have 1 slice of cheese, and that was it for lunch. I first started out having wraps, in the beginning of developing an eating disorder. But after I realized I don't want carbs. I think carbs are bad, even though carbs are not bad. I cut out the bread. My parents would make it for me, and I'd throw away the bread and not eat the bread. I just eat the protein and the slice of cheese. Then meal 3, the last meal of the night, which I was just eating 3 meals a day. Then now I eat 5. I used to eat 6 meals also. I eat 5 meals a day now. The last meal was 1 can of tuna and water. And, obviously, if you don't know, tuna is very low in fat. I think it didn't even have really any fat in it. Any type of fish is usually low in fat. And then meat, again, has like hardly any carbs in it. So that's why I did tuna. It was just one can of tuna. I looked it up, kind of the calories for that, and it said anywhere from like 80 to 120 calories per can of tuna. So you can think about all the stuff I told you. I'm probably eating less. I know I'm eating less than 1,000 calories a day. I might even be eating less than 500 calories a day. And not only was I eating hardly anything, but I was doing a ton of exercise. Like I was running, I was swimming, I was doing push-ups, sit-ups, and all that shit didn't matter because, you know, my body was just trying to survive. Like it wasn't growing any muscle. It was just trying to survive and going into starvation mode and survival mode because I wasn't giving it any food or hardly any to actually run the systems and help my body recover. That's why when I got my bone density scan, when I went into the eating disorder treatment, like a few months after I went in, they tested my bone density and I had the bone density of an 80-year-old woman because I malnourished my body. My bones were malnourished and didn't get the nutrients they needed, especially like calcium and stuff like that. And I wasn't developing. And I honestly think I would have been a few inches taller if I wouldn't have went through my eating disorder. Because my brother, he's slightly taller than me. I mean, he's not like super taller than me, but he's like 1 or 2 inches taller than me. And we were expected to be the same height. So I may have stunted my growth a little bit, but I mean, what can you do? You just have to take what you get now. So obviously, 1,000 calories or less than 1,000 calories is not enough for a growing young man like me at that age, especially at that early onset of puberty. That's why, like I said, I think I didn't grow as tall as I could be. Not only was it not enough for me growing at the time, but it wasn't enough for me doing all the exercise and stuff that I was doing. So yeah, an eating disorder, it's rough. And as you can see, I was eating hardly any food. I was unhappy with my body. I was unhappy with the way I looked still, even though I had lost all that weight. I was still skinny. You really need somebody to educate you and help you and guide you through something. Especially if you're going through it now, you need somebody to keep you accountable and not fall back into bad habits or make any more mistakes. So that's why I would recommend either reaching out to a health professional who knows how to deal with eating disorders, or even better, I would reach out to somebody who's been through that experience and gone through that, like what you're going through now, like me. So reach out to me down below at mongoosemindset01@gmail.com, or you can click on my link tree in the description box and that'll take you to my website and everything. Because I want to help people out who are struggling with these eating disorder, body dysmorphia, mental health related issues, because it's tough and I've been through it. I still go through some mental health issues, like even now to this day. It's gotten a lot better because I've been focused on my mindset and improving that, trying to think positively about day-to-day life. But yeah, if you need help with that, reach out to me in the link below and I would love to help you. And don't neglect your nutrition. Always prioritize your nutrition, especially if you're doing any type of physical exercise or training, because you want to maximize and reap the rewards of what you're doing. Because for the longest period of time, I was not reaping any benefits from all the exercise I was doing. I was just killing myself, to be honest. So with that, I'm going to leave it today, and I hope everybody has a great day. Act now, evolve forever. Bye.